everyone, welcome to my channel. I am H. Cooper Crafty Bug, Hyla. In this video I'm going to show you how I attach the braids and chains to this senior mom. This is part of a series, the 2023 Senior Mom Series. I'm doing 30-inch braids and chains and streamers and all that, so it's going to be a full-size mom. And I had all these clipped in where I wanted them, so I'm just going to slowly unclip all of these. I'll show you what they are. I did videos for every one of these braids and chains. I have a playlist. I believe it's called Full Size Mom Series 2023 Senior Mom Series, something like that. I know it says Full Size Senior Mom, and then I think it says 2023. Anyway, I'll have a link in this video and probably on the end screen as well. Sorry. So every braid or chain I put on this mom has a video. I did a video showing attaching the ribbon streamers. I did a live showing doing the mom backer, which was before this, so you can't even see it on this video, but I have done that just recently. So I'm trying to video the whole process of this mom. So sometimes when I'm attaching braids and chains, I start in the middle and then work my way out, because you're thinking it's in the middle, it's going to be the hardest to attach. But that's not always the case. So I kind of end with what braids I want to be more on top, if that makes sense. Because some of them will kind of get covered up a little bit and get kind of pushed underneath. I mean, you want them all to be seen, but whichever ones you put on first tend to go behind the other ones. So if there's one that you want it to be really prominent, you want to put that one on last. Now, I don't know if you can tell, I'm sure you can notice there that the backer I'm using is cut in half, which makes it so much easier to staple on your braids and chains, especially the ones in the center. I learned that tip last season from Connie at the Southern Cottage. Changed my life. Made my attaching braids and chains and ribbon streamers life so much easier. So now I'm going over to the right side and attaching the zigzag braid. That zigzag braid was created by my friend TJ at TJ's Magic Touch. She has a wonderful tutorial for that, and her tutorial is also in my playlist. So I did show a small video of me making this braid, but I didn't really do it for learning purposes, so I did put her video in the playlist. That way, if you have not made that braid yet and you want to learn how, it's right there in that playlist. This ribbon right here is just an acetate ribbon that I put silver shimmer vinyl on that says Homecoming, so I don't know if you can read that. That's the only thing I've done so far on the mum that I did not show a video for, and it was just because both my cameras were busy and I couldn't, and I really wanted to work on this mum, so I did that one little thing, and it's like, okay, I need to stop because I can't video anything. So I started with the 2 flat braids on the ends and attached those first. Now I'm going to start working my way in. And having a backer cut in half makes this so much easier, because before, when I did it when I was using a full backer, I kind of had to start in the middle because it would be so difficult to get in there. So this really changes things. It really just makes everything so much easier, and changed my mom making. It really did. So that is a Mobius braid that I just attached. If you don't know what that is, I learned how to make that from Connie at the Southern Cottage, and there is a unique braid from Connie. Let me stop there. That's the cottage ladder, and I love that braid. I also put her tutorial in my playlist because, again, I showed in one of the videos, showed me making part of that braid, but again, I want you to go to her video to learn how to make it, because she's the one that came up with it and she has a great tutorial. So I don't want you to learn from me, I want you to learn from her. So now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the Mobius. I learned how to make the Mobius from her. So of course she's got at least one video. I know she worked on it during a live or maybe 2 lives, but she did do a video. I've done a couple of videos on it as well. Neither one of us created that braid, but she did teach me how to make it. And next I did a loopy chain, and the loops are only at the bottom. I used a really pretty glitter ribbon, and again, there's a video for that. I think most of the videos have 2 or 3 braids of chains on them. So the loopy chain, I actually used almost all those loops were from excess ribbon from making like the zigzag braid and maybe a couple other braids. I can't remember. I had to cut a few more ribbons to fill it in, but most of those loops are from that. And then I left that blank there because I'm thinking I may attach custom cutouts there. I wanted a space to do that. And then lastly, a loop chain. So that's going to be for somebody's name. This is not for a particular person. I actually am making this pre-made to put on my Etsy shop for those last minute customers, and there's always last minute senior mom people looking for a mom. So hopefully somebody will need a silver and white one. And I like to hang it up when I'm attaching the braids and chains. That is my preference on attaching braids and chains, because you know where everything is going to fall and lay if you're holding it up. Because if you have it laid down on the table, you don't know how it's going to look when it's upright like this. And this is the way it's going to be worn. So for me, it's a lot better like this. And I like using the mannequin too, because it does give it a little bit more of a person's body. So there's kind of what it's going to look like. You see the zigzag is kind of falling up under there. I don't want it hidden, but if I had put it on top of the Mobius, it would have been more prominent. So it depends on which, you need to watch that. So like which braid you put on top of which other one is going to be more on top as it's being worn. Since I did the zigzag first, it's going to tend to kind of go up under the Mobius as it gets moved around. I don't want it, like I said, I don't want it hiding back there, but that's just the way it is. Whichever ones you attach first and last, the last ones are going to be on top. I wanted the more poofier braids to be more on top, so that's why I did the ladder and the Mobius and the loop chains on top. Now here is that little, if you guys remember, I made that little love braid. So I didn't even measure the ribbons. I just cut some and made this, and I didn't intend for one to be this small, but that's how it worked out. It's such a pretty love braid. I didn't want to waste it. So I'm putting it in all different places because I said I'm going to find a place for this thing. So I'm just going to look around on it and try to figure out where I want it. But first I'm going to attach, I have 2 braids that I want to do like either all the way across or partially across. So one of them is, this first one is the Peyton braid, and that's one of my creations, and I do have a tutorial for it, and of course it's in the playlist. So what I'm doing here is just taking a scrap piece of ribbon and sliding it through the end of this braid so I can attach that ribbon to the backer, and I'm not squishing all that Peyton braid, all the braided part. So you staple those ribbons to the backer just far enough down where the braid itself doesn't get squished. If you attach it too far down, you're going to be able to see where you attach that extra ribbon. So, and of course you could always cover it up with a bow or something like that. Now this braid does naturally twist, but it has kind of relaxed a little bit. So I'm going to give it more of a twist, some extra twist when I attach it. And there are excess ribbons on the end of that side, so that's where I'm going to attach it. And I like how twisty it is. And I did also, since then, I have blinged that braid up a lot. And of course I filmed that, so you will see that in the future. Just give it a bunch of staples. I always give quite a few staples. I want to make sure it's nice and secure. And it's filling in nicely. And then lastly, I have a solid white military / bubble braid. So 3/4 of it is just plain military, and then I switched to bubble. And what I'm doing is I'm going to attach it on one side, the left side of the mum, but then on the end, and here I'm attaching some excess ribbon because I didn't have much on the end there, so I needed like another piece of ribbon on the end to attach it to the backer, I realized. So I'm just using another scrap piece of ribbon. But I'm not attaching the other end to the mum backer. I'm going to weave it through, or just kind of, I don't know I guess weave it through the Peyton braid and let it hang off the Peyton braid. I did that on a couple of mums last year and I really liked it. So it's very simple. Just take it through there and then let it hang. And you can add a dab of glue to keep it where you want it so it doesn't fall out, but I'm not at that point yet. Now I will tell you a problem here that I noticed, because it's been several days since I did this, and last night when I was looking at it, I realized the Peyton braid had stretched out quite a bit, and it was from the weight of this plus what else I do to it you're going to see in just a minute. So what I did was I took that out. So something you could do is, if you know you're going to do this, take that out and don't let it weigh on that until you're ready to ship it. But what I also did was, I knew I wanted to bling it up, so I went ahead and blinged it up and put the flower-shaped diamond mesh all around the Peyton braid, like all three sides. And so having that string bling glued to it is going to keep it from stretching out anymore. So then I was able to put that back in there, and I won't have to worry about it stretching out anymore. It didn't stretch out a lot, but I could tell that it was getting lower. So definitely didn't want it to just keep stretching. And I had planned on blinging it up anyway. I just went ahead and did it sooner than what I had anticipated doing. So now I'm really going to try and find a home for this. And I just kept going all over the place. Like, does it look okay here? Does it look okay? And nowhere I really, really liked it. But what I ended up doing, I really loved. So I went ahead and showed the whole process of me moving it back and forth and back to the same place again, because this is just my process. So I thought I would share that. Drinking an iced coffee while I do this. I have to have something to drink while I'm doing voiceovers. You can tell, I think, in every video I voiceover, my throat gets very scratchy. Still moving it around, trying to figure it out, knowing that I want to use it on there somehow. I'm looking for like a bald spot or something. And then I'm making, if you wonder why I keep looking at the camera, it's because I need to make sure that I'm still in frame, that I'm not doing all this work and you guys aren't going to be able to see it. Except for that goofy part at the beginning when I had to wave at the camera. Plus I'm looking at it in reverse on the camera too, to kind of see what it looks like. I still don't know what I'm going to do, like bling wise, with the white military and bubble braid. I haven't decided yet. I mean, it looks so pretty just plain like that, plain white, crisp white. But I'm sure I'll probably end up blinging it up. Maybe hang something from it, maybe put a big bow. I don't know. I haven't decided. Something I did do, though, is I forgot to attach some more small ribbons for like trinkets and bells and stuff. On the streamers, I did attach a not very thin, but a pretty thin diamond dust. I can't remember what size it was, 3/8 or something like that, in which you can use that for some trinkets and bells. But I like to do a really, really thin ribbon for those with the really small holes on them. And I forgot to do that. I had already attached the backer and everything. So that's something else that I will show you how to fix on because that's something I usually do before I attach the top backer and all that. I want to put extra. I either go ahead and attach the bells and trinkets and stuff, or I attach ribbons for them for the future. And I just forgot. I guess I just haven't been making mini mums. It's the beginning of the season for me, and so it takes me a little while to get in the groove of remembering everything. So I will show you how I get them on there and secure them without having to take things apart. So this is when I finally figure out how I want to do it. And you saw me, you wanted to trim down those excess ribbons, and now I'm just stapling the two ends together. Just kind of squishing them together. So I tried to get up close so you guys could see what I'm doing. And I just made a circle or a ring around that Peyton braid. And of course I'll do something with that too. I'm sure I'll bling that up some way. I've got more bling coming. It's supposed to be here today from Connie, from all those shopping trips. So I do want to use some of that new bling on this. And here it is. All the braids and chains are attached. I'm loving it. I think it looks great. I've got some new braids on there. I've got some classic braids on there. I love the contrast with the pewter and the white and then the different glitters. So I'm really loving it so far. So pretty. And if somebody contacts me and they need a rush order senior mom, I can personalize this for them. But I will put it on my Etsy shop, and I will offer personalization. And what I mean by personalization is they can have options of stickers, like for the loop chain, the Mobius braid could have stickers, custom cutouts, extra trinkets, stuff like that. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a like. Please hit that bell, subscribe, share, comment. Please be kind with your comments. Please be kind to others. Happy mum making, happy crafting, everyone. And I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful homecoming season. And I will catch you all on the next one.
Lucy, you want me to throw it? Do you want Mama to throw the ball? Let me have it. Let me have it. Let me have it.